Maddie Silha. Number 6, Kristen Capstick. Number 7, Grace Soderblom. Number 8, Abigail Vargas. Number 10, Mackenzie Aiken. Number 11, Emily Mikulski. Number 12, Madison Harasek. Also number 12, Emmeline Marriott. 14, Tori Blard. Number 18, Jaden Desard. Number 19, Emily Strong. Number 21, Sydney Guffney. Number 22, Haley Grambo. And number 24, Annika Lambot. Head coach for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies is Melinda Torrey, assisted by Christine Windrum, Dale Troop, and Terry Ryan. And now for your Snohomish Panthers. Number 0, Ellie Everett, escorted by Jade. Number 3, Mackenzie Green, escorted by Izzy. Number 4, Delaney Kaisner, escorted by Lauren. Number 7, Ruthie Hammer, escorted by SJ. Number 8, Megan Mobley, escorted by Mackie. Number 9, Lena Dickens, escorted by JC. Number 10, Rachel Groom, escorted by Krista. Number 11, Bree Nichols, escorted by Taylor. Number 12, Cheyenne Rogers, escorted by Sydney. Number 14, Gracie Vanashi, escorted by Annie. Number 15, Kayla Soderstrom, escorted by Sarah. Number 16, Kayla Karami, escorted by Zachary. Number 19, Grace Winders, escorted by Maddie. Number 20, Jenna Schuler, escorted by Sam. Number 21, Raven Mummy, escorted by Chloe. Coach for the Snohomish Panthers is April Vanashi. Assistant coaches are Jesse Lindstrom, Brielle Dodge, Sam Ford, and manager Kinsley Gallatin. Now if you could stand and face the flag and move your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's play soccer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Snohomish, Washington. It is an absolutely beautiful night for girls soccer. I'm Mark Ockett, bringing you the action on STSPN.com, and we do thank our many great sponsors for getting everything all set for us to begin the season with soccer, with volleyball, also with football, of course. Our presenting sponsor is Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens and Everett. Thank you so much to them, as well as Speedway Chevrolet in Monroe, Skyline Properties Bothell, McDaniels Do It Center Snohomish, Adrenaline Fundraising, G&S Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Also, Fred's Rivertown Ale House right here in Snohomish, and Sally Petty Agency for American Family Insurance in Monroe. Now tonight, we got a great matchup. It's a crosstown rivalry. Both these teams share this stadium, and that would be the Glacier Peak Grizzlies against the Snohomish Panthers. And in this game, as it lines up in this match, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies will be the visiting team. Snohomish will be the home team. Now let's take a look at them out there on the field, as Glacier Peak is in the white uniforms and Snohomish in the red uniforms, both teams with the black shorts. We're ready to go out here, and this ought to be a lot of fun. It's great to be back in the saddle to announce high school soccer. I think it's been a couple of years I've had a chance to do this with Todd. We've got volleyball coming up tomorrow, football on Friday. STSPN.com is in full gear, and we are underway. Now 40 minutes on the clock in each half, just to get you back and up refreshed with soccer once again. Once they hit the 2-minute mark, the officials will keep the time on the field. So at this point in time, it's the first match of the season, and these teams are just basically going to kind of get to know each other in the early part of the action there as Glacier Peak has the ball. Now Snohomish trying to get things going a little bit in the attacking end and broken up nicely there. I want to get you the starters as we get rolling in this one here. First of all, for Glacier Peak, their goalkeeper is Naomi McMillan. She is a sophomore. Also starting for them, midfielder junior Brooke Miller. Another sophomore starting is a midfielder that is Marseille Calleros. A senior midfielder would be Grace Soderblom. Also starting in the midfielder and forward position is sophomore Abigail Van Gies. You've got some other seniors involved in this team, but right now I'll give you the starter for a forward position, a forward and defender, that is Aiken McKenzie. Also starting for Snohomish in this game would be Emily Marriott. She is a senior. Forward midfielder starter is Tori Boarge, and she's a senior. Also starting as a senior for Glacier Peak would be Jaden Desard. She is a defender, and also in the defender positions, junior Emily Strong, senior Sydney Guffey, that's a familiar name right there, and forward Haley Grambo starts as well as in the defender position would be sophomore, just a new player on the team, is Madison Seelhoff. So there's your starters for Melinda Torrey. She is in her 11th year as head coach of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. We're almost 2 minutes into this one, and again, these teams just moving the ball around. They're back towards midfield as Snohomish has the ball right now, and while they do, that is Grace Winders with the ball, and she handled it near midfield there. She is one of the starters as a defender. Jenna Schuler starts as a junior midfielder, and she is accompanied in the midfield position by Raven Mummy, who's also a junior, and a forward starter would be a senior Taylor Karami. Also starting for Snohomish, forward sophomore Bree Nichols. In there for the Panthers, a midfielder senior. Oh, we got a goal. There is a goal for the Snohomish Panthers. Early on, this comes in the 3rd minute. In the 3rd minute of the match, the Snohomish Panthers are on the scoreboard as they slid one in there, and they are on top. We'll get the official name on that as that goal was put in the net for the Panthers just into the 3rd minute of play. Why don't we take a break right now on STSPN.com? No, we're going to keep it right here as Glacier Peak has the ball. Now they're putting a little pressure on in the attacking end. It's broken up. We'll have a throw-in across the way as we enter the 4th minute of play. Thanks for being with us on STSPN.com. Snohomish hosting Glacier Peak here on this beautiful Tuesday night. And the students getting rolling with school here this week. Lots of fun festivities going on. The Evergreen State Fair wrapped up yesterday. I was up there last week in booth for our local radio station in the area. It was nice to see some familiar faces out there. Yeah, Mark Ockett bringing you the action. Todd Elbig, our producer here on STSPN.com. And the goal we're going to have coming up. Scoring the goal that time was Megan Mobley. Megan Mobley comes through with a goal in the 3-minute mark for the Snohomish Panthers, so that gets them on the scoreboard. And last year, Glacier Peak won this game by a score of 4-1. In that game, Glacier Peak was the home team, so they're playing to try to even things up here. Now in the 5th minute of play, ball left back for Glacier Peak, and here they come trying to attack towards the middle part of the field. Snohomish very aggressive so far, and not really letting Glacier Peak do much damage. Obviously, the Panthers getting a goal. It's knocked out of bounds, and we will have a throw-in for Snohomish. I was talking to the head coach, April Van Asche of Snohomish. She's in her 11th year as varsity head coach, her 21st overall here. As Glacier Peak breaks it up, headed back in by the Snohomish as they just keep trying to put pressure on right there. Good job by the Panthers. And we have a foul which is going to have it go in the other direction. 21 years here at Snohomish. Again, 11 as varsity head coach. Last year, Snohomish was the Wesco champs with a record of 14-1-1. Their only loss coming to Edmonds Woodway, and they will host Edmonds Woodway right here in 2 nights here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. That is also a 7:30 start. Snohomish back in the defending end, now booted ahead. 1-0 if you're just tuning in. Looks like we have an offside call against Glacier Peak. Is on that right wing right there. Just a little bit ahead of the action. And in goal for the Snohomish Panthers is senior Ellie Everett. Snohomish has 12 of 15 players returning from last year. And also Glacier Peak only has 4 new players. So these two teams have a lot of veteran experience. And right now that's showing is that neither one's wanting to give much up, except, boy, Snohomish snuck in there and getting that goal from Megan Mobley to get things started there. So we have it billed on your screen as Cross Valley Soccer right here on STSPN.com. We're going to bring Todd Elvig in periodically throughout the broadcast tonight to just kind of talk about what STSPN.com has coming up. We'd like to certainly mention our sponsors throughout. We're just really getting up and running. I know that things got rolling with the Jamboree about a week and a half ago for football right here at Snohomish High School. And Todd, let's say hi to each other for the first time here in the 2018-2019 season. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing really good. Yeah. A couple weeks ago we had the Jamboree for football, and that's what that's the name.
Okay, so we got a correction on the goal. It was actually by Raven Mummy. Raven Mummy scored the goal.
Just to be clear, they gave us the number 8.
They gave us number 8 right at the beginning because it was kind of where we were at was a little screened out with the pole right there, and wanted to confirm on that. So the goal in the 3rd minute by number 21, Raven Mummy. And right now we are in minute number 8, first half action here at Snohomish High School. Well, Todd, it looks like things have gone well as far as sales for STSPN.com, and that's a lot of fun because this carries on for many months, and we have excellent sponsors back on board and expanding in certain areas as well.
Well, absolutely. We had about 500,000 views between January and June on Twitter alone. So, it's stepping up. People are watching.
They're not just reading the president's tweets on there. They're checking out STSPN.com, and certainly that's 500,000.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The funny thing is the viewership might go down just a little bit here while the people are watching the stock market. It's on a record bull run.
It sure is. That one is going to go high and out, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Glacier Peak. Naomi McMillan, the sophomore, in goal, as she'll get it back in play right there. 1-0 Snohomish, or 1-0. Snohomish is leading. And again, trying to have a very, very good season. Glacier Peak finishing 4th last year in Wesco 4A. And just to clarify for people, you've got Snohomish and Wesco 3A, Glacier Peak and Wesco 4A. They just play each other the one time in all sports throughout the year. But whenever they meet, it's always a great matchup and rivalry here.
They don't want to lose, I'll tell you that right
now. The Snohomish facilities are as good as it gets. You see across the way there's the auxiliary practice football field way over there that looks as good as some of the main fields you might find at some schools. They have some great facilities here at Snohomish High School, and Glacier Peak as well. We love doing basketball over there, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, they
and volleyball.
They spent all the money here. It looks really good.
All right, we are in the 10th minute of play as that one goes out of bounds, and again, you start to see where individual players will step up here, and Raven Mummy getting the goal in the 3-minute mark.
Did you go down on the field ahead of the game?
I did. I went down there.
Did you walk on that?
Yeah, I
Isn't
did.
that something?
Yeah, I think it's just like the 2nd or 3rd year that they've had that new turf in there. Yeah, we were here for a football game. I think we did a couple here last year, Luke and I, and we'll get a chance to do at least one coming up next month. But yeah, it feels fantastic out there, and it really makes a big difference for the players to have that kind of footing. Yeah, better footing, better traction, especially with the weather conditions out there. As Snohomish near midfield, and tapping the ball is Mylena Dickin. Panthers with another throw in. What do you got coming up for football on Friday night?
We got a big one. Just look on the field now. Snohomish and Glacier Peak.
Crosstown battle, and
It's the Dick Armstrong Cup.
oh yeah, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, I saw that in a very nice flyer out front that you put together that is coming up for Friday night. And Dick Armstrong, the longtime head coach here at Snohomish for football, he coached for 32 years, and there is a statue to commemorate him out front.
And there should be.
Yeah, definitely.
amazing.
Yeah. Replaced the cannon with his statue. He had to.
We won't get into the canon thing.
We are, though, in the 11th minute of play. First half action here at Snohomish High School. Just off to the right side there. Handling the ball that time was Haley Grambo, one of 8 seniors on the Glacier Peak team. That one just wide to the right. We have not had any corner kicks as of yet. Nobody getting wound up with each other to have any cautions, and usually you're not going to see that at the high school level, especially on opening night. Again, our presenting sponsor, Ace Hardware of Lake Stevens and Everett. At Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find out what you're looking for right there. Owners Greg and Christine Eaglestad are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and on Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. Now, they've expanded them into Everett, or is that they just add that to
They picked up the Evergreen store.
That's fantastic. So we want to educate our listeners on that. All right, they put Bree Nichols in number 2. She was originally listed as number 11, but Bree Nichols for Snohomish is number 2. Glacier Peak on the attack right now. Can they make something happen in the 15th minute? Good defense right there by the Panthers to break it up. It looks like we're going to have our first corner kick of the game. Over there to take that for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies will be Tori Bullard. She is a senior midfielder. Let's see if they can stack it up and try to make something happen to tie this one up. Centered nicely on the cross right. Oh! That looked like it came off the crossbar or the post. That was a heck of a nice, that almost went in off the corner. What a great looking play right there. So very close. And Snohomish now will have the ball. That almost tied this one up. It really wasn't, in looking down there, I didn't really see anybody in the vicinity, but that one almost curled in. Now we have a substitution is coming out of the match now, will be Tori Bullard, and it looks like also out will be Mackenzie Aiken. Substitution in for Glacier Peak will be number 24, you see down there, Annika Lambot. Throw in for the Panthers, up 1-0. Now in the 17th minute of 40 in the first half of play here at Snohomish's Veterans Memorial Stadium on STSPN.com. Tapped around a little bit and finally out of bounds once again as the Grizzlies will have a throw-in. With the throw-in that time is Jaden Dezard. Dezard is a senior, one of the 8 seniors. Little jersey pulling right there, and now the ball is knocked out. Yeah, finally going to sail out of bounds, as you see right there for Snohomish coming through. Bree Nichols, just a sophomore. Snohomish has a couple of freshmen on the roster. One is Ruth Hammer, she's a defender, and the other one is Cheyenne Rogers, a forward. Panthers intercept it and now control the ball up ahead, but then kick it out of bounds. Entering the 18th minute of play. Let's take a break right now. We'll be back with more here on STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And we welcome you back to Snohomish. There was a shot on goal. Now Snohomish taking off a little bit right there as Glacier Peak is going to break it up back in their own end on the defending end of things as the ball comes loose near midfield. Just saw an ad for McDaniel's Do It Center in Snohomish. Thank you to McDaniel's Do It Center for, all these great years of sponsorship. Todd, they've been on board for as long as I can remember. They're located right here in beautiful Snohomish, locally owned and operated, and has been in this area for over 40 years. Now, that is a great commitment. They've had athletes and students come through. Let's put it in the right order. Student athletes come through Snohomish High School, and we've certainly had the pleasure of calling the McDaniel's children in here, and they've just done a fantastic job in the community. So great to have them on board. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's Do It Center the best, no doubt about that. Snohomish has the ball in the attacking end right now. We're going to have a throw-in down low. Down there is Delaney Kasner. Good long toss right in front of the goal. Look at that. There's a shot. Oh, and a good save down there. Cheyenne Rogers right in front of the goal on the left side. Rolled that one, but it didn't have a lot on it. Just a soft kick right there. And then Naomi McMillan in goal, able to slide to her right, go to the ground, and be able to get the ball. Had that had some lift, that might have had some problem for McMillan to deal with there. Now Glacier Peak going the other direction, kind of like the way these two teams, Todd, have gone back and forth here on these last two possessions and shots on goal. That's when it gets a little more exciting on the soccer end. But, at the same time, and we've discussed this in the past, when they're where they're at right now, they're also establishing position and trying to get things squared away to where they could get a breakaway or something along those lines.
Yeah, no, I think that you're going to find it going back and forth all night long. If I remember correctly, the boys' game and the girls' game last year, you really didn't know what was going to happen until, a couple of minutes before the end of the game.
Yeah. There's Snohomish with a long one ahead. That ball is broken up. Right there, though, is Bree Nichols, and then that's Snohomish with a roller right towards the left side is that Naomi McMillan will go chase it down. Right side for Snohomish. Into the 21st minute of play here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. First half action on STSPN.com. And that one is not a goal, but I think it would have been 3 points if it was football because that went right through the uprights. And once again, McMillan will get set to have the goal kick. 1-0 in the Cross Valley soccer matchup between Snohomish and Glacier Peak. These rivals, and Glacier Peak now in its 11th year as they get started this week. They've been educating and having great athletics and other activities there with band and cheer and you name it at Glacier Peak since 2008 when they split the students up and started things. And they've had a lot of, really, when you think about the length of time they've been around, they've had a really good amount of success. Football, soccer's been solid, certainly boys and girls basketball, and you can chime in with any other sports that you're familiar with that has done well. Oh, a shot, kind of dribbler, and that's off to the left side now.
How about academics?
Well, there's that. Lay that out there for us. Yeah,
they're one of the top high schools in the state when it comes to ranked for success in academics.
And you've had all three of your children go there. Is that correct?
That
and
is
one
correct.
of them is
So
still there.
I'm a little biased. Yeah. The caboose. The caboose is a junior.
Now, who was the engine? What was the name of that fine young man?
Josh.
Okay.
And then Jake. Jake is now down at George Fox University, second year, studying biology.
Very good. Now, so then in that case, obviously, and you just saw a great on the corner kick coming out that time was the goalie, Ellie Everett, but that's 2 corner kicks that have put some pressure on the Snohomish Panthers. So obviously the academic genes for somebody that could be majoring in biology, in your case, would be coming from mom in that instant,
there's
right?
no doubt at all.
All right, we are moving right along here in this one. We're in the 24th minute of the first half here at Snohomish High School. Mark Ockett, Todd Elvig bringing you the action. And we have a special guest here sitting in with us. That's my mom, Nettie, who is celebrating her birthday today. So she's up here. It's September 4th, and it's been a big day for her so far.
I thought you were talking about the intern.
Well, David is here as well.
He is special.
But I don't think it's his birthday.
I think he's lost a few helmets.
David play? Was he up here with Snohomish at?
No. I just met him tonight. He's sitting in. We're trying to get a little bit of a feel, see if he wants to be here.
Okay, with the ball, Snohomish will now they're near the sideline right there. That's going to go out of bounds. And substitutions for Snohomish coming into the match: number 16 Taylor Karami, and also number 21, Raven Mummy. So Mummy has been in and scored a goal earlier. She got that first goal. And then it's the only goal so far. That was in the 3rd minute. Lights taking more hold here now as the sun setting to the left of us here. Snohomish going from right to left. They'll have the long throw in from the track. Looking ahead for Glacier Peak. They will host Marysville Pilchuck coming up on Saturday, so they have 3 days off, and then they're back in action the next Tuesday. They're at Lake Stevens, and then Thursday of next week they host Kamiak. Wesco 4A and 3A always strong in soccer, and I can run down how things turned out state-wise as far as when the season wrapped up last year, who won it all in each classification. We'll get that as we move along here.
Yeah, we don't broadcast too many games up at Glacier Peak because they don't have a big covered stadium like this. They have to play outdoors. So, our equipment can't be outdoors.
Yeah, you got to have some covering like this with all of these goodies. We want to make sure they don't get rained on or too much moisture in them. You really got to watch that stuff, too. Snohomish has the ball back in their own end. Delaney Kaisner will get things rolling. Now in the 26th minute of play. And again, thanks for tuning in to STSPN.com and our coverage of the Glacier Peak Snohomish game. Mark Ockett bringing you the action, and just a really nice night. Not too hot today, and that helps, too, for these players. They're trying to stay fully hydrated throughout the game. But with the heat we've had, and, I think the thing that's really nice, too, is compared to a couple of weeks ago, is there's no smoke that's just clogging the air. Oh, look out. That was awfully close right there as the heat was on. Good job by the goalie, but also the pressure put on by Glacier Peak.
One thing I noticed in the last Snohomish throw-in, last 2 Snohomish throw-ins, they were taking their time on that. I wonder if they're a little tired or if there's some kind of a strategy to.
Hard to believe they'd be tired on opening night.
I
but,
would.
It might be just taking a little time, being patient. Haley Grambo with that pressure on the goalie that time, Ellie Everett, and Grambo is a good athlete, and we're going to hear her name a few times tonight. You'll see her running around the field. There's a long one that coming out, no problem getting that, is Naomi McMillan for Glacier Peak.
Well, I think that they're known for, they've got some really good tactics when it comes to showing something that isn't true.
Out of bounds it goes. Glacier Peak will have it right near midfield. And more substitutions is coming off the field will be Emily Mikulski and also Jaden Dizard, and a couple of new players into the game, into the match. Emily Marriott is one of them, and she'll have the throw in right in front of us here. Pressure defense by Snohomish. They're not allowing much of anything where that's at right now. And there you go. There's the pressure put on. Look at that. As finding a way to break through was Haley Grambo. Grambo, you got to keep an eye on her. She's been quite visible in front of the net so far here in the first half. It is 1-0. Snohomish on top, and they scored a while ago now. That was back in the 3rd minute, as we are in the 18th minute now. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back with more on STSPN.com. 1-0, Snohomish leading Glacier Peak.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Again, thanks to Ace Hardware there now with the 2 locations in Lake Stevens and also on Evergreen Way in Everett. Glacier Peak putting some pressure on. 1-0 the score. Snohomish on top. Glacier Peak trying to knot this baby up here on opening night for these 2 teams. That one goes out of bounds, and Glacier Peak, the Grizzlies being more the aggressor. There's a nice throw in, headed away. Coming through around the right corner. And that one's going to slide off the net. Madison Seelhoff, the sophomore that was just added to the roster and got the start tonight, coming over on the right side, doing some nice movement there, but Snohomish ends up getting it back, and we're just about 30 minutes into this first half. Again, just if you're just tuning in, they hit the 2-minute mark. The officials will keep time on the field, and then we'll hear their whistles, and that'll be halftime for us. Every level has something a little bit different. Now, at the college level, they go 45 minutes. The clock does count down, and when you get to 1 minute, and I do a lot of public address, or do a fair amount of that for college soccer, so that at that point you got to announce 1 minute, and then the countdown from 10 seconds down, you announce every second. High school goes 80 minutes, and the clock is 40 minutes per half, and then they have that 2-minute where the officials keep track of things. So, and of course at the professional level, and that varies depending on every level you're at there as far as how they indicate certain things, but by and large it's the 45-minute half. There you go. Once again, look at this. There she goes, Haley Grambo, and a shot. That's going to be a goal right there. Grambo was in the mix, but we've got the Glacier Peak Grizzlies getting in there from the left side. We'll get that confirmation. Let's take a break right now, and we're going to come back. It is tied at 1 apiece as that goal scored in the 31st minute.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200-plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Annika Lambot. She is a sophomore who put it in from the left side. Annika Lambot.
Well, here's a interesting fact for you. Our first time ever camera guy, his last name happens to be Lambot.
All right, tell us about that. Is there a connection?
There certainly is. I'm sure that's her father.
I had a hunch.
He said that he had a daughter that played, but if you're going to get free labor on a camera,
that worked out really well. So Annika Lambot gets that goal right there, and Glacier Peak putting the pressure on in that sequence there, and they've been doing that more. If you look at this half, we've seen Glacier Peak certainly here since about the 20-minute mark where they've been doing more, and they finally get one in the net. So we're tied at 1. This is going to be fun the rest of the way, as these two teams not going to give anything up to the other. You've got a crosstown matchup, and these girls know each other well. Boy, I tell you, and it's this way when you've got communities this close and growing up together, playing on select teams, and when they're younger and everything like that. So I'll tell you what, and they're still young, but they definitely are very well acquainted with each other, and have probably played on the same teams together, even though they're on different high school teams, Todd.
They do. Absolutely. You talked to them before the game, and several of the players said, "Oh, yeah, no, I know her. I know exactly what she's going to do, blah, blah, blah,"
Free kick right there for Snohomish, and they got one right near the front there, and shot on goal. Right there is Naomi McMillan. I think she's had an outstanding first half. Now, we will be awarding the STSPN Player of the Game, and Naomi's done an excellent job in goal for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. She's had several chances there, as I have 6 shots on goal for the Panthers, as Naomi has saved all but one of them, and that was a goal by Raven Money, and that took place in the 3rd minute of this match. Clock showing 6:35 to go. That makes us in the 34th minute. I'm having to do that subtraction math, too, but so far so good.
And you're public school, aren't you?
Yeah, and Wazoo. Don't ask me how this has happened, but yeah. Ball near midfield. Cross towards the middle right there is Sydney Guffey. Now, Guffey's another familiar name up here in these parts.
Absolutely.
Guffey, Grambo, down that roster. See family names, and that's one of the things too, Todd. And there's a lot of names that we get to know, and this is my 26th year being involved in announcing up here in Snohomish County, and just now, oh gosh, starting to see the sons and daughters of the kids that we started calling games for. I know myself back in the 90s, and there goes Grambo again over on the right side. Is she going to make something happen right here? They need 2 Panthers to shut her down and finally get the ball away from her. Grambo is quick and strong and skilled. You put all those together in one package, and that puts a lot of pressure on the opposition. Good defense. That's a great one-on-one matchup right there. Liking that. On the defense, Glacier Peak trying to shut down Megan Mobley. Ticking down to 5 minutes to go here in the first half of action. We will take a break at halftime and reload and let you get yourself a beverage, something to eat, and then we'll get the second half again. This is 1-1, and if it stays this way going into the second half, we know, and either way we know we're going to have a great second half. You want to keep it tuned right here to STSPN.com, and Todd will have more of those outstanding cheerleader cutaways. Yeah. You are the master of the cheerleader cutaway. But you started doing that last year, I believe.
Absolutely.
And it's great, and that's the thing we try to illustrate, too, here on the network, is the fact that it's not just about the players on the field. Of course, that's a big part of it, but we want to focus on the bands, on the cheerleaders, on the academics. It's all about high school sports. It's all about the preps. Right out front now, midfield. Glacier Peak with the ball, and Snohomish tight on the defense. Gracie Van Asche. She is the daughter of the head coach, April Van Asche. Gracie is a junior. Snohomish with 5 seniors on their club. And if I didn't mention earlier, I'll say that no seniors have been signed yet to letters of intent to go on and play soccer at this point, but it's still early. Still early. Now, talking to Melinda Torrey, who's in her 11th year as the head coach at Glacier Peak. Both head coaches in their 11th year. Look at that, chasing it down over there. Quick movement again by Bree Nichols. But I'll tell you, Glacier Peak has advanced some players on, and one is at OSU, 2 at PLU, and 1 at Northwest University from last year's team. 3:14 left in the first half here at Snohomish High School as the sun goes down. And again, Todd, we talk about being around here and involved in sports for a long time, and I want to recap just because I think it's important for our listeners as we start the season to when STSPN got started, when you did your very first webcast. All right, if you have to think hard about that and get those Minnesota gears going again, which touches on an inside joke from yesterday, but I don't know how you misread that. But anyway, just
I went back and read it.
They don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
But the bottom line is, how long have you lived in Snohomish County? Let's back up with that. When did you move here? It's Snohomish.
88.
Oh, 88. Okay, so you've been here 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a generation and a half. And when did you start TSPN? When was the first year that you began it and had your very first anything? What year was that? Do you remember?
I remember exactly. So, Snohomish Times newspaper, we started that in 2005.
Okay, so 2005.
We started the sports edition in 2008, and we had that was STSPN. And it was Snohomish Times Sports then. Now we kind of abbreviate it. But
look at this. Snohomish chasing it down to the defending end. Less than 2 minutes to go. And so the clock actually being kept on the field by the officials.
So then 2010 was our first. So we started covering sports in 2008, pictures and video. But our actual webcast started in 2010.
So you say 2008 in pictures and video. That means online, but not moving video or not coverage.
No, it was not live.
Okay, got it. But still, that's cool to see how the evolution, because quite frankly, I needed to get up to date on that. Look at that. There's a shot and a goal. No, she got it off the post. It came off the post. Off the post. How about that?
That was lucky.
That was
TP.
Amazing. I caught myself in the middle of the goal, and there it was. It came bouncing back. How did that not go in?
10-year anniversary.
So this is you started in 2010.
8 is when we started the sports edition. So technically we're 10 years old. Streaming live is 8 years old. But STSPN is 10 years old.
10 years old for that, but streaming live, you started in 2010. So this would be like your 9th season of streaming live, which is in itself great. You're a survivor, because there's certainly other people that try this and only last 2 to 5 years maybe, and then that's it.
And you're
married. Thriving, and you're still married, and wow. And your kids haven't left you. Well, they've gone on to college and stuff like that, but no, that's fantastic. So 2010. All right, time is being kept on the field as they're holding it at 2 minutes. Well, that was an awfully close shot there that almost went in for a goal.
They could have used that going into the half too.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I'm just trying to figure out how that thing missed, because the way it just must have come off the side. That net was wide open, and we are at halftime. It is halftime here at Snohomish High School, and how about this? We are tied at 1 apiece. Snohomish scoring their goal with 3 minutes in to the first half, and that was by number 21, Raven Mummy. And then a ways later, 28 minutes later, Annika Lambot, whose dad's on camera for us tonight, coming through with the goal to tie it up, to make it 1-1. And that's where we're at right now. So we're going into halftime, and we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with the second half. And anything can happen in this crosstown matchup between the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, the visiting team, and the Snohomish Panthers, the home team, right here on STSPN.com, your home for high school sports.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Everett Greenway in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
No, it's our last day. Yeah, it will be. It will be the Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas. The 12th should be good, but I will send you an email on it. What I'm saying too is that with the business of it, I'm still trying to get figured out. Well, when we just got the Husky women's basketball and Seattle U women's basketball schedules.
I hate that when they put the second half time up
But I'll
and they
send
don't
you.
tell us the time that's left in the half.
I agree. That is even because
when we come
wound
back-
down and then you're right. Exactly.
Because when we come back, I'm going to put you on autopilot and I'm going to go hook up the microphones. I think I'm going to send him down to do the player of the game. Because I don't know if we'll get everybody to come up here.
He's going to interview the player of the game. Have you done any?
Yeah.
Huh?
In terms of I've interviewed people before.
Okay, good.
I've worked. I used to work at my college radio station.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go to college at?
University of Washington.
I'm familiar.
In Washington State.
You went to university? Okay.
Well, originally I went to Wazoo, and then I transferred over because of tuition and room and board expenses. So.
Okay. So did you graduate?
Yeah.
From
University of Washington.
With a degree in
media and communication studies.
Okay. Got it. Good. Okay. I don't know your background. I don't even know you until tonight. So
yeah,
I don't know how you came back. Because I get it. Yeah.
There's no big
Well, I
deal.
strung him along last year because he wanted to intern for us last year. And I just wasn't busy enough to have him here. And I thought I was going to be more busy in the spring.
Yes, I want a new one. When you get it ASAP, because with the new Caracal logo on there and stuff like that. Just I got to put my. I'll send it to you on the email. So okay, so go ahead. No.
What do I hear?
Anyway, so again, I didn't sign up. I didn't know what your background was.
Yeah, I used to work in professional. I worked in King 5 News.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm working right now as a freelance.
Okay, got it. I didn't know what your background was. Okay, cool. So. Welcome back. We get set for the start of the second half, and it should be a very entertaining and good second half because we're tied at 1 apiece. Glacier Peak 1, Snohomish 1. Snohomish scored their 1 goal 3 minutes into the first half. It happened relatively quickly, obviously, as Raven Mummy putting it in from the left side, and the same thing at the 31-minute mark when Annika Lambot put it in from the left side, going the other direction for Glacier Peak. So now Glacier Peak is going to go from our right to left. Glacier Peak won this matchup last year 4-1. So Snohomish wants to get it back this time around. Snohomish, the Wesco 4A champions last year with just a 1 loss. 14-1-1 they go last year, and the 1 loss to Edmonds Woodway. And they will play Edmonds Woodway coming up on Thursday. I'm Mark Ockett with Todd Elvig right here on STSPN.com. We will have the awarding of the Player of the Game T-shirt. And Todd, let's make sure you're there because obviously, and again, we're getting everybody up to speed again for the new season. What do we have here? This is the new T-shirt, and obviously we're going to talk about it. We're going to paint the picture, but you have the T-shirt here. Western Conference, as it looks like, we have a free kick coming up just outside the box. That appears to be the case over there. Western Conference, Fall Varsity Sports Achievement. You have the Player of the Game. Look at that. You got Ace Hardware on there from our locations, not just the Lake Stevens, but also Evergreen Way. Let's get back to that in a second. We got a free kick coming up for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies in the 2nd minute of play, and with the free kick will be Abigail Van Varghese. Abigail Varghese with the free kick over the wall, and right there in goal to get that is Ellie Everett, and we have no goal scored. So I want to confirm, too, we're going to check on that because it's a ways from here to make sure the goalkeepers are exactly the same in the second half as in the first half. Sometimes they'll squeeze a substitution. They look the same with Ellie Everett in goal for the Snohomish Panthers. Look at Ellie. Hey, that's me. Oh, sure, you got to get me with the glasses on. Now, here's Mom. Mom is celebrating her birthday today, all right? So we have her up here today. Good to see her and have her here. So, geez, Todd, that was nice of you to sneak that one in. I'm wearing put the glasses on because I want to see those numbers real close. But, gosh, it's nice to be back doing this. Thanks for inviting me back. We've been together for several years now. I'm calling this our 5th official year together. That sound about right? Don't be afraid to chime in. You know, I like to, oh, here we go. Glacier Peak, and that, again, she is very good. That's Haley Grambo. Keep an eye on number 22. Goalkeepers are the same. Thank you, David, for getting us that information. So the goalkeepers are the same. Now in the 3rd minute of play in the second half, 1-1 match. Who is going to come out on top in this one? Tomorrow we have volleyball, 7 o'clock, and that will be Cascade at Everett. Todd, looking forward to that.
I've got the broadcast headset on.
Goal kick the other direction now for Glacier Peak. Naomi McMillan, she had several saves in that first half. did a really good job. And, obviously, that one was snuck in by Raven Mummy. Whistle on the field. Again, our presenting sponsor, Ace Hardware, Lake Stevens and Everett. The Eaglestads opening up a second location. We thank you very much for supporting their business. Speedway Chevrolet in Monroe. And throughout the year, they will sponsor the scoreboard package. Also, Skyline Properties in Bothell. That is a new sponsor. Skyline Properties in Bothell. Fourth minute of action here in the second half, each half 40 minutes long. And Glacier Peak cannot penetrate through there as Snohomish will break it up in their red and white uniform tops. Glacier Peak in the white uniforms. Good interception and nice ball play right there for Glacier Peak, but the pass too far ahead of Annika Lambot, the sophomore who scored the goal for Glacier Peak. Opening night and opening start of school. Also, I know some people head south down to the Washington State Fair. They actually close today and tomorrow because so many kids are going back to school that affects attendance. But head on out and check that out as well. It was a lot of fun being at the Evergreen State Fair last week. All right, Snohomish breaks it up nicely right there. Glacier Peak having to apply the defense and coming through for the Grizzlies. That is Madison Seelhoff. Less than 35 minutes to go in the match here at Snohomish High School is just a little bit of daylight out to the west of us here, to the left of us, but otherwise nighttime settling right in as those days getting shorter, but still staying light relatively long, which is good. We don't want it to get where those days are so short anytime soon. But it is a great time of year, very festive time of year as we start getting ready for the fall, which starts here in less than 3 weeks, and then get all set for Halloween, the festive season, the holidays. It's always a lot of fun, great to enjoy. And over on the far side, Snohomish is going to have a corner kick, and this would be their first corner kick of the match. Over there for the Panthers with the corner kick is Bree Nichols. Off the left side, let's see what they can do. Teammate coming forward who fans on it. Blocked right there. Now here's another shot towards goal. That time a left-footed shot by Delaney Kaisner, senior, and no problem for Naomi McMillan to field that one and put the ball ahead for Glacier Peak. Annika Lambot. Panthers tighten up defensively. Been pretty solid midfield play in this match. And we have a whistle on the field. Just to let you know, too, our center referee is Rodrigo Garcia. Assistant referee 1 is Alexander Wentland. And assistant referee 2 is Dave Trop. And a shot on goal is going to be handled, no problem for Ellie Everett right there. She was at the right spot to field that one herself. Stays tied at 1 apiece in minute number 7. 7 minutes into the second half. There's a big bump right there. No doubt about that foul. Was bumping hard was Tori Bullard. The Snohomish player hits the pitch. And now the Panthers will have a free kick back in the defending end. This game will pick up more of a sense of urgency as we move along here. Either one of these teams wants to come out of here with a draw if they can avoid it. Boy, Sounders FC just having a tremendous run with 8 victories in a row at the MLS level, which is an MLS league record. No ties in there, 8 actual wins in a row as the Sounders started out slow. And I come to the conclusion every year that when you get as far as the championship game, which they've done the last 2 seasons, winning it in 2016 and then losing to Toronto last year. They beat Toronto in 2016 and then winning last year against Toronto, going that deep into early December and then having training camp start about 6 weeks later. These players just get worn out. And then suddenly things start clicking. That's been the case for the Sounders FC at the MLS level for the past couple of years. Actually, when Brian Schmetzer took over as head coach 2 years ago, they got going in the second half and never looked back, winning the league championship. Love to see them advance like that again. Snohomish with the ball. Try to have a little threat going on right here. There's Taylor Karami over on the right side towards the middle with the cross, but nobody able to get to it. Bree Nichols trying to chase it down, and Snohomish will keep on the attack. However, now Glacier Peak's going to break it up, and they'll go the other direction. About 31 minutes to go in the second half of play. There's Gramble over on the right side. Will she make something happen? 1-on-3, now 2-on-3 there, and finally that one dribbles in front of the net. And Ellie Everett is going to get over there, the goalkeeper for the Snohomish Panthers, and to take care of business as she boots it towards midfield. Taking a look at how things went last year as far as who won the 4A championship and the trophy winners, and then also for 3A. Last year, Issaquah, the Eagles, won the 4A state title for girls soccer. And then Central Valley, Camas, followed by Kennedy Catholic. And then over for the 3A was Mercer Island, then Stadium, Kamiakin, and Bellevue. Throw in for the Panthers. Great field position right here, but Glacier Peak is clogging the middle right there as that one's headed out of bounds. Snohomish will have a corner kick, their second corner kick of the game. We've had a couple, both in the first half for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. As a substitution coming out for Glacier Peak is Brooke Miller. That one's headed out of bounds, and that's going to be last touch by Snohomish. Emily Mikulski, a senior midfielder, is in for Glacier Peak on that substitution. Snohomish also having some players, 4 of them running on the track right down below us, possibly tuning it in to come in a little bit later in the match. Now less than 30 minutes to go in the second half. Who is going to break the deadline here at Snohomish High School? Also like to work in Fred's Rivertown Ale House right here in Snohomish. Sponsor right from the beginning on STSPN.com, so that'd be 9 seasons worth now as we are in our 9th year getting started. Glacier Peak on the attack. Over on the left side, Annika Lambot. Up towards the middle, there's a new player in. That's Mikulski. Mikulski dips it over on the left side. There goes the Grizzlies again. That one's way high in the air, and camping under it is Ellie Everett. Each time you visit Fred's Rivertown Ale House, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. They keep it fresh there at Fred's. We'd like to say that once you get through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, quality food, and unique beverages will keep you coming back. Certainly family-friendly right there in Snohomish. We hope you find that this is true, that you just have a great time. We look forward to seeing you in the near future. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is located on 1st Street in historic downtown Snohomish. 28 minutes left, second half action. Here in a Cross Valley soccer matchup between Glacier Peak, the visiting team, and the Snohomish Panthers. Over on the right side, Grizzlies trying to do it, but 3 Panthers right there to break it up. That's going to go out of bounds and be a throw-in on the far side. If you're just tuning in, Raven Mummy scored for Snohomish 3 minutes into the first half. And then later on in that first half, Annika Lambot popped one in. Both goals scored from the left side, and that's where we sit right now. Nothing occurring in the net so far here in the second half. We had a near goal that hit the crossbar or the post and came flying out of there. I thought that was in late in the first half, but ended up just flying back to the player, and it stayed tight at 1 apiece. It's Snohomish near handball right there. Over on the left side, that is Lambot. Pass ahead, a little too far this time for Varghese. Varghese chasing it down. Glacier Peak putting some pressure on. That one's going to go far and behind the net over on the right side. Chasing it down for the Panthers is Ellie Everett. And football right here coming up on Friday night. Again, remind you of that. Same teams matching up. That is really a lot of fun to check out. And you can come in person if you want. You're going to have your smartphone, I'm thinking, so you can watch it right here off the app on STSPN.com. And once Todd settles in from having more merchandise delivered from Amazon Prime for his broadcast gear, we can ask him about that a little bit. That's that stuff that goes on behind the scenes that keeping him busy. But it did come. I was right, wasn't I? Oh, yeah. This box, you got some. Would they have it? Would they ship it straight to the stadium? He's have stuff sent here now. Glacier Peak with the ball. Up near midfield as Snohomish digs in defensively. Glacier Peak and Snohomish Friday night football, Friday night lights right here at Snohomish's Veterans Memorial Stadium. That one forces Ellie Everett to get down and grab it on the ground, leaning forward and diving for the ball. Another failed attempt by Glacier Peak, but still they've been doing a good job of getting into that end and trying to make something happen on the scoreboard. Throw-in coming up for the Panthers. Taylor Karami gives way now. Her teammate popping over there, Delaney Kaisner, will handle the throw-in duties instead. Here we go. In play, can Snohomish connect here? Well, that's going to go high and coming out of goal right there to make the catch. Naomi McMillan, the sophomore, and she's had a lot of activity out there, doing an excellent job tonight. She's certainly a top candidate for player of the game, and we'll have the player of the game come up here to the press box, and we'll talk to her, ask her a few questions after the game. Back and forth action near midfield. 24:30 left to go in the second half. And again, we thank you very much for tuning in to STSPN.com. Mention another one of our great sponsors. That is American Family Insurance, Sally Petty Agency in Monroe. Sally will do a great job for you over there. And over on the left side, moving forward is Lambot. Centers it up and getting in front of it will be Ellie Everett for the Panthers. She's keeping busy in this second half. Everett towards midfield. Pass too far. Well, she might be able to catch up to it there. Over towards the middle. Grambo. Panthers know they got to contain Grambo. She is tough right in front of the goal and has a seat right there as the Panthers were able to break it up. Panthers will bring in the four players I was talking about to the lineup. Part of that would be Mackenzie Green is out there. She just came in. Also Cheyenne Rogers back into the match. Looks like Gracie Vinasci has come back in, and also Kayla Soderstrom has rejoined the lineup. So quick 4-for-4 substitutions for the Panthers to keep those legs fresh and put some pressure on Glacier Peak. Knotted at one apiece here as we near the three-quarter mark of this match. Mark Ockett, Todd Elvig bringing you the action on STSPN.com. There's the ball left back for Ellie Everett. Both teams have had their chances. There's no doubt about that. The goalkeepers have done an excellent job of keeping it where it's at. There's a long blast towards the middle of the field, headed out and away from there. Good footwork. Fun to watch. Natalie Fox handling the ball. Grambo towards the middle. She had a player, a teammate was right there in front, but coming out of goal that time was Ellie Everett to break it up. Right there in front that time was Annika Lambot, but she couldn't get it to her as Everett made a nice grab with the ball. Now 18 minutes into the second half, a little over, now 22 minutes to go. Over on the left side, Lambot, here she goes, pressure on, shot, and wide right. That goes wide right. Lambot trying to get her second goal of the match. And that one about a foot and a half off to the right side. Just missing on that one. And now back for Snohomish to get things rolling the other direction. First Kaisner, and now she's going to give away as the Panther player will come over there and get after it. For Snohomish with the kick, Mylena Dickin, senior. Dickin, a defender, puts her foot to it. They got some strong legs out there. Seen a lot of balls kick from that area out to midfield. Throw in for Glacier Peak. Emily Strong, a defender, helping her teammates out there. There is, once again, is Lambot. Lambot trying to go towards the middle. There's knocked away. There's a Grambo. Now in the middle area still is Varghese. Over far on the right side, Natalie Fox. And Snohomish putting the pressure on. Quick throw in. We've seen most of the action down at the Snohomish end. Now Snohomish finally going to move the ball forward here a little bit. That's Raven Mummy. Mummy with a pass over on the right side. Catching up with it. With the ball is Schuler. And Glacier Peak breaks it up once again. Up ahead they go. That's Lambot. And taken away from her. That was Gracie Winters. Grambo goes down, and Winters is going to be called for a foul. Glacier Peak will have a free kick, and just about halfway through the second half here, 60 minutes into the match and tied at 1. First goal came 3 minutes into the match. Raven Mummy off the left side. And then at the 31-minute mark, it was Annika Lambot. Mummy a junior, Lambot a sophomore. Here's the free kick. Grambo down there. You see her with the white headband on. Can she make something happen here? No. Nice defense taken away from her. Picked her pocket. Glacier Peak again. It just keeps continuing where Snohomish is having to be on guard throughout this entire match, especially here in this second half. Glacier Peak has just been putting heat on throughout. Oh, great move right there by Lambot. Lambot over on the left side. Great. Oh, there's a push off. Wow.
Was there a call on it?
No. That's going to get it back to Snohomish. I thought there was a push kind of hard there by Jenna Schuler. Yeah, you think? But they're going to go ahead and that'll be Snohomish ball, as they'll have the kick from back in their end.
As you can tell, it works perfectly.
There you go. Is that we're getting set? Are you talking to me now?
I am talking
on air.
I am.
Okay, so that's for you're testing the wireless mic out.
That's right. I've got the equipment down there.
Okay.
And it's sending it up here, and it sounds pretty good. We'll see if it can go 10 feet the other direction.
But we're going to bring the athlete up here, though. Correct? That's right. We're going to bring.
But I still had to get it tested for Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you could cut into our time here on Tuesday night to get things ready for Friday night's football. Todd, it's soccer tonight. Then volleyball tomorrow.
You just got done talking about what goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, I get it. That's good. So that looks to me like a Shure microphone. Am I right? What is that?
It's a Shure knockoff.
Okay, it sure looked like one. But, yeah. Well, okay, well, you got some nice wireless. Is that something new?
It is.
Okay.
There's always something new. You just keep adding to it.
Glacier Peak with the ball on the attacking end. Snohomish breaks it up. There again, then coming through is Mikulski. Over on the left side, Mackenzie Aiken over there. Grambo up front, up top to Mikulski, and Mikulski fires to the left side. Just off the mark some.
Come on, Mikulski. Let's get your aim a little better there.
I have 9 shots on goal for Glacier Peak, and Snohomish with 8. But Glacier Peak has put most of their pressure on here in the second half. Still tied at 1 apiece. Mentioned another sponsor, Todd, and at some point we want to take a quick timeout here GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, we have a commercial for them.
Why don't we air that right now? It's coming out of goal.
Let's do that.
To make the save was Naomi McMullen, and we're going to hear from our friends at GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
We're back live, coming up on 16 minutes to go in the second half of play here at Snohomish's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Soccer action is school getting back in gear today and tomorrow throughout the areas, and these teams getting their season started. The regular season will end for the Snohomish Panthers on Tuesday, October 23rd against Everett right here. In fact, their last two matches of the season will be at home. They host Stanwood on Thursday, October 18th, and then Everett right here on October 23rd, which, the season is just getting started, but they wrap up a week before the end of October, which isn't that far away.
No.
That season moves right along, and, they've got certainly a full slate of games in there.
But we have a lot more volleyball
16,
than we have soccer, unfortunately.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just the way the schedule rolls and works out. So 16 regular season games for the Panthers. There's a shot and a goal! That's right. Panthers are on the board again, and that is at the 65th minute mark. And that is Gracie Van Asche with the goal. Gracie Van Asche puts the Panthers on top by a score of 2-1 in the 65th minute. Excellent, as she just popped it over on the left side, and it was slid inside the post and into the net, and there's a goal. So now, Panthers up 2-1. Here comes Glacier Peak the other way. And with a shot and missing off the left side is Mackenzie Aiken, and that keeps it at 2-1. So Gracie, the junior, daughter of the head coach, April Van Asche, coming through with the goal as the Panthers are on top 2-1. Can they hang on to this? Or can Glacier Peak come back to tie it? They've had to come back from a deficit earlier in this match when they were down for 28 minutes in that first half and scored at the 31-minute mark. Well, here we go again. And it's interesting because Glacier Peak's been putting on so much pressure in the second half and had more opportunities near goal, but Snohomish gets a break there, and there's Van Asche again. Oh, they'd love to get another one, Todd. They'd love to add to that and get a little breathing room out there as this gets deeper and deeper into the second half and towards conclusion. Aiken over on the left side. Got teammates hustling down towards the middle, and there's a header. That is almost in. A great play by the goalie, Ellie Everett. And the header that time for Glacier Peak. Crossed the way for us there with the header that time was Natalie Fox. Peak again. Grizzlies with the ball, trying to knot this one up. And it's going to sail out of bounds. Couple substitutions for Snohomish. Coming back in is Bree Nichols, number 2 on your screen when you'll see her out there. And also number 8, Megan Mobley.
Is that the mystery number 2, or is that the...
That is the mystery number 2, which we had our research assistant find out for us. And there's a couple on the Glacier Peak roster that I've tried not to draw attention to that also they didn't have the correct numbers on. But we kind of give them a little leeway because it's opening night. And that does happen. We certainly know what happens in football. Usually there's 2 or 3 that have us tearing our hair out as to who is that? Especially since they'll be like players that are in the mix a lot. When it's like that, you're going, wait a minute, how could you not have that on there?
I have 2 things that they should change about soccer.
Okay, hang on. We got pressure being put on here by Glacier Peak as Snohomish applying the clamps, putting the defense on it right there, and now push it back. Glacier Peak at near midfield. 12 minutes, now under 12 minutes to go in the match. the last 2 minutes will be kept on the field by the officials, so we have to kind of play it by ear with that. No stoppage time in high school soccer. And again, 40-minute halves. They give them their full 40 each half or full 80. So what were you going to say?
Well, two things. I think that you should not be allowed to kick it out of bounds. Like with football, you go out of bounds. It's you're out of bounds. It's, And the other thing is, I think that they should get rid of the offsides. I think you should be able to do a deep ball.
Well, okay. No, I mean that's good to get your input, but I think that those reasons they have those are probably built. They're built up over time, and so that there isn't with offsides there isn't an unfair advantage. Maybe they could modify that, but no, it kind of keeps things in balance there. But we thank you for your feedback.
Well, in football, if somebody happens to be wide open, that's not fair either, is it? But you know what?
But if you have
somebody who wasn't watching.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I could. Yeah, I don't know how they regulate that with the out of bounds stuff, but we can explore that more as we go.
I just think that when a defense is being overplayed and they just kick it out.
Oh yeah, I
to
see.
save
what you're
themselves,
saying.
I
right. There should be some. Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, Mackenzie Aiken over on the left side for Glacier Peak, and a Snohomish player right there to shut her down. Now we have the throw in. There's Grambo. Good one-on-one matchup right there. Grambo going towards the middle, finds her teammate, and right there getting the ball. And that one's going to go over the top. Maybe we actually will have to have David go down there and find out who number 13 is for Glacier Peak, because that's not on the roster. And she's been out there with a couple of good plays. That one was up high, but got good positioning in there. Less than 10 minutes to go in this match. Snohomish is leading 2-1. Scored in the 3rd minute and also in the 65th minute. Action on STSPN.com. Mark Ockett, Todd Elvig. Now look at this. Glacier Peak having to chase it down on the defensive end. Getting after it was Madison Seelhoff. Panthers with less than 10 minutes to go thinking, man, if we can just get another one and really put this thing out of reach, that would certainly be beneficial and make Coach happy. Kind of looking at, well, you've got Gracie Van Asche as a possible player of the game. She has what is now the go-ahead goal and could be the winning goal. Ellie Everett in goal, certainly for Snohomish. She's had to have a lot of chances dealing with things. Panthers, there's another shot that's going to go far to the right side. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for Naomi McMillan. Now, it's Neomi, not Naomi. It's Naomi.
I would have to say that most of the minutes in the second half, Glacier Peak has controlled them, even though
they have.
Even though Snohomish got the score.
We have a substitution. Rachel Groom has come into the match, and out is Kayla Soderstrom for the Panthers. Now, as you're this deep into the match, where Snohomish can take and just control things and take some time off the clock, too. That's certainly something you want to work into the equation. Less than 8 minutes to go in the match. Chasing after it is Van Asche over on the right side. She's quick. We saw that with her excellent footwork to set up for the goal that she got at the 65-minute mark, and Glacier Peak will have the throw-in. And every time they get buried this far downfield, it's going to take them some time that will chew up the clock to get down at the other end. Tell us a little bit, Todd, while we have a second, about, since the Player of the Game T-shirt award is coming up, Adrenaline Fundraising. What's that organization about?
Well, Adrenaline Fundraising, everybody recognizes that name. It's, they do the gold cards and they do the cookie dough and that thing for all the teams in the area. And they have a new thing this year called A-Pay.
Okay.
Who got the yellow card?
Somebody got a yellow card. which is very, you don't
It's
often
going to be
see.
on. It's going to be on.
It's going to be on Glacier Peak. I just want to get the official number. I think it might have been on 10, and that's Mackenzie Aiken, but we want to find out for sure. We have our, I guess they're taking a little while to find out, and we have it with a substitution over on the other way. It looks like 7 coming in for Glacier Peak. That's Grace Soderblom. And that one right out front. Yellow card was issued, and we don't know yet. That has not been officially sent up to us. That's just, we'll work with it. Panthers chase it down midfield. Ball left back.
Yeah, I think they're just going to play catch now.
Yeah, but all it takes is one little slip up, and Glacier Peak can be right in there, and next thing you know, this thing is tied. Over on the left side, that one's just too, well, she's finally going to chase it down and get to it, but left out there pretty far. Oh, good pass that time by Nichols. Now knocked out of bounds as Nichols will go after it. Nichols is a forward and just a sophomore. Snohomish has 2 sophomores on the team, the 2 freshmen. They also have 6 juniors and 5 seniors.
Wow.
So
They're
spread out
top-heavy.
pretty well. Glacier Peak is more senior laden. 8 seniors back this year. That one's over the top. And a goal kick will be coming up for McMillan. So the seniors for Glacier Peak are Natalie Fox, who's a midfielder and forward. Also Grace Soderblom, who is a midfielder. Emily Mikulski, a midfielder. Defender Madison Harasek. 2 midfielders, Emily Marriott and Tori Bullard. Also defender Jaden Dizard. Sydney Guffey and Haley Grambo are seniors. Now Grambo, I think that's where, remember, I think she plays basketball too. Look at Haley, just good 360 that time, goes the other direction, and that one's over the top. And again, Glacier Peak comes up empty, heading down to the Snohomish end.
You know, Glacier Peak has had 3 shots that were wide open. One, the girl got a little bit tripped up, couldn't get the shot off, and 2 of them now where they got a little bit overexcited and kicked it high.
Yeah, that's been part of it, is that they've had and been close, but just haven't been able to fine-tune it enough to get it into the net. Under 4 minutes left to go here in the second half. Snohomish is leading 2-1. Non-conference game for these teams, but bragging rights on the line, that's for sure, and you want to get your season started in the right way with a victory. As the Panthers won Wesco 4A last year, and they're just
3A.
3A. They're perennially strong. They used to be 4A, and they flip-flopped, actually. So, as Glacier Peak was 3A, and now it's gone the other direction for, I think this is the 3rd year it's been like that.
Well, here's a fun fact. Snohomish High School has capacity for 1,800.
Okay.
And they have about 1,700.
That's a lot.
Glacier Peak has a capacity for 1,500, and they have 1,800 kids.
And both of those, couldn't both of them be 4A if they wanted to be?
Oh, yeah.
Because Snohomish...
Well, Glacier Peak is like one of the smallest 4A schools in the state.
Okay. When you think about that, that's a lot of students. That's 3,500 students between the two. There's a ball that's deflected away, and that's going to go out of bounds. We're going to have a corner kick for the Snohomish Panthers, which will be their 3rd in the half, and looking to go over there to the left side is Bree Nichols. And so we're also going to we need to take and make it, well, this one's not over yet. So it's kind of tough to pick a player of the game at this point because we don't have an official game in the books at this point. Glacier Peak could still tie it. We could still choose a player of the game from them. Here's Nichols with the corner kick towards the middle, and that one curls away. And coming out of goal to get after it is Naomi McMillan. About to that 2-minute mark. And now we're hitting the 2-minute mark, and they'll set it on the field then when the referees give them the indication that they're keeping the time. I think they've stopped it now. It stopped at 1:50. They knew you have to stop it at 2 minutes. The referees are keeping time out there on the field. Snohomish very near the goal for Glacier Peak. Pass over on the left side. Panthers able to stay close and also take time off the clock. That's a big play right there. Coming forward is Delaney Kasner, and also in goal popping out McMillan. She'll take a hold of it. 2-1, Snohomish is leading here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish, Washington. And we thank everybody tuning in on the World Wide Web on STSPN.com. Might as well just keep it plugged into this app and this location and on YouTube, because there's going to be a lot of great sports programming for high school and the NWAC for the tournaments that you're going to be involved in coming up this year too, Todd, as that continues to grow for you. And I know you've done a fabulous job covering things the last 3 years for the NWAC basketball tournament at Everett Community College, and I understand they're bidding for that again.
They are. They absolutely are. They want us for a couple of years, and they've also talked to us about volleyball and soccer in November.
That's fantastic. Glacier Peak with the ball in that 2-minute window before this one wraps up, so we're just waiting to see. This is where it gets suspenseful, because we simply don't know exactly how much time is left. And as a player, how do you know? That's something about the game. If I could make a change, that's something right there where it's like just let the clock spin. I'm not sure who came up with this brainstorm, but to have them keep the time on the field, like especially at the high school level, I'd prefer that they just keep it running on the scoreboard. But they haven't asked me to vote on that, so. There's Snohomish going the other way. Up towards the middle. Groom with the ball over on the left side. Panthers taking some good time off the clock. Oh, and a shot on goal! And blocking it down is McMillan. That goes out of bounds, and we got a corner kick. Looks to me that the shot was by Soderstrom. Over on the far side is Bree Nichols. Now coming over to help her out will be Raven Mummy. Nichols looks like she's just going to pop it out to her. She does. Going the other direction. I hear whistle. That's it. Match is over. Snohomish wins it 2-1. Here at Snohomish's Veterans Memorial Stadium, they defeat the Glacier Peak Grizzlies 2-1. Let's go ahead and choose Gracie Van Asche, number 14, for the Snohomish Panthers as our Adrenaline Player of the Game. Adrenaline Player of the Game is Gracie Van Asche. We're going to try to get her up here in the booth. And let's go ahead and take a break real quick. 2-1 the final score as Snohomish defeats Glacier Peak in the opener for both teams here at Snohomish's Veterans Memorial
Every year,
Stadium.
Thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Veterans Memorial Stadium. Great matchup to get the soccer season started for both the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Snohomish Panthers. Went better for Snohomish, though, as they come away with a 2-1 victory. But with soccer, there's probably a lot of positives one could take away if you're the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, too. They put a lot of pressure on in the second half, and I thought they were going to take the lead, but Snohomish got it done with Gracie Van Asche in the 65th minute, and that's the difference in the match. They win it 2-1. She's going to be our Adrenaline Player of the Game, and also involved in that sponsorship, Ace Hardware, Lake Stevens, and in Everett. So we're going to welcome her up here very shortly. I'm Mark Ockett with Todd Elvig, and Todd, we're up and running. You and I getting our first one in tonight. I love that logo, by the way, that you have over on the right side there on the screen. I think that looks really sharp. It's like when we get started in the new year, I'm always like, okay, what's he got new this time? And in all honesty, folks, it's the absolute truth. And I think there's this, and this has been going on for a while, there's a rivalry between you, me, and Tall Tom Lafferty, who works for STSPN and is a sports director, longtime sports director at KRKO, as to getting new gear.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fun. We have a lot of fun. That's been going on a long time. But anyway, in the first half, the Snohomish Panthers were able to get on the scoreboard first, and pretty quickly, actually. It was Raven Mummy scoring 3 minutes in, and then 31 minutes in, Annika Lambot scored for Glacier Peak. It was tied at 1, and then 65 minutes into the second half, or into the match, so that would have been, 25 minutes into the second half, Gracie Van Asche came through with a goal, and Gracie's up here in the booth to join us right now, so let's get her all set. She gets the Adrenaline Player of the Game T-shirt, and we'll have her hold that out in front of us. And Todd, let's get the headset all set on her there, and Todd is trying to avoid a major catastrophe with his gear right here, so we get it all set. So we're ready to switch over there, Todd? Let's welcome Gracie to the press box here, and we'll get all set there. Congratulations on being named a Player of the Game.
Thank you.
Player of the Match. There you are. There it is right there. You're live. Right on TV on STSPN.com. I'm Mark Ockett. David is helping us tonight. Nice to have him here. And Gracie, so there you are. And this is going live throughout the world on STSPN.com. You got your T-shirt there with the Ace Hardware and also Adrenaline Player of the Game, Western Conference Fall Varsity Sports Achievement. Great job. You got that goal in the 65th minute. Tell us how that set up for you able to pop it in the net, because you had a great shot to put it in there.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it was a lot of team play to get it up to me, and just happened to be open to shoot it.
You had a nice, strong shot, though. I mean, you went on the outside there, and it popped in just looked like it was just inside the post and then into the net, and there it was. And you got the Panthers on top. And so you were up by the 2-1. You guys still had to play good defense the rest of the way, though.
Yeah, it was a team effort to keep ahead of the game.
Now, your mom, a very nice lady, April Van Asche, is in her 11th year as head coach at Snohomish, and she's been at Snohomish for 21 years, which is basically like, 6 or 7 years longer than you've been alive, right?
Yeah.
So how about that? How's that having Mom as your head coach?
I like it, yeah. She's been my coach pretty much my whole life.
Yeah?
So she's helped me become the player I am today.
That's fantastic. And the player you're going to be, too, because you still got a ways to go because you are a junior. And tell us about the Snohomish team. Won the conference last year in Westco 3A, and it looks like you're strong again this year.
Yeah, I think we're a new team this year, but we're hoping to go farther definitely this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about school? What do you like to study? Are there topics that interest you specifically? Favorite subjects, things you like, math, English?
Math's my favorite.
Is it? Okay, yeah. And are you thinking about going to college then?
Yeah.
All right, lay it on us. Where might that be at this point? It's still early, but where might you want to go?
I'm thinking of Central, but
Central.
I haven't really.
Okay. Yeah, well, you got time. You're a junior, and so anyway, no, it looks like you got a good team with you again this year. Great group of athletes out there to have a fun season. You got 12 of 15 players back, and is there a good bond amongst you? You all grew up together, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, we all know each other for pretty much our whole lives, so we work really well.
What about these Glacier Peak players? I touched on that some in the broadcast. That you probably know them pretty well too, don't you?
Yeah, we played with them growing up as well as ourselves. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, we appreciate you coming up to the booth, and congratulations on getting Player of the Game here to get things started for our very first broadcast of soccer in this season. And we look forward to hearing more great things from you, and Mom doing an excellent job as coach, and you getting a great degree from Snohomish High School.
Thank you.
All right, Gracie, that's very good. Gracie Van Asche is here. She scored in the 65th minute and gives Snohomish the 2-1 victory. She is our Adrenaline and Ace Hardware Player of the Game. And we're going to wrap it up, huh, Todd? Is that doing it? We're going to wrap it up. And the final score again.
I'm off again?
Yeah, there you go. You got,
I hate it when I'm off.
It's still early in the season. We're going to give you a little room. But tomorrow, if this goes on, then, that is
we'll
the
have
thing.
To have
a sit down.
Is I have the mobile unit going with tomorrow. Hey, you know what? You could bring some of your gear with too if you want. You just leave it in the car, but in case
you're talking to me on the air, in case something breaks down. No. We'll talk about that.
Because you got that expensive stuff.
Well, yeah. You get what you pay for. So anyway, hopefully doesn't break. I think you got some pretty darn good stuff here too. Anyway, our final score 2-1 as the Snohomish Panthers beat the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Just looking ahead again, Snohomish will play on Thursday right here against Edmonds Woodway. That was their only loss last year. And the Glacier Peak Grizzlies have Marysville Pilchuck right here on Saturday, because this is also their home field. So both these teams, this stadium gets a lot of usage, and it is one of the top facilities you're going to find in the state of Washington, as we love coming here, and also the gym inside. Well, tomorrow we will be at, look at that cool logo and all that stuff up there for the production there. We will tomorrow night be at Everett High School for volleyball. We get to see the Cascade Bruins and the Everett Seagulls at Everett High School. So, Todd, we get to be together 2 nights in a row and needle each other like relentlessly off the air. So, looking forward to it.
That is right.
All right, so for Todd Elvig, David, who helped us tonight. I don't have his last name. Did you? What's his? David Gillespie, and also Gracie Van Asche. And who was downstairs on camera? That was the father of one of the players.
Kevin Lambot.
Kevin Lambot. Thank you for him. Our final score 2-1 as Snohomish defeats Glacier Peak in girls soccer. Remember, winning is for tonight, but sportsmanship is for a lifetime. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you live from Everett High School at 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Wednesday, September 5th. Good night, everybody.
Good night.